What's up, everybody? It is Knockout MMA. Today I'm gonna go over literally, dog, this banger of pay-per-view we have today in UFC 312. I just tried making a video on all the fights, and I couldn't get past the first two in early prelims. I'm so sorry, dog. I swear to God, I've been watching for a while. I have no idea who any of these people are. I have barely any idea who people on the main card is. Like, Jake Matthews and Francisco Prado. I have never seen any of these people fight. Ever. Ever. So, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, $70 for a Taliesin Teixeira fight? Yeah, bro. I got it. Don't worry. I don't know enough. And I am in no way casual. You could call me casual all you want. Oh, bro, you never seen Rudolph Batalio fight? No, dog. Neither of you. Like, stop. If you have, congratulations. But I have not seen this man fight ever. Tatiana Suarez, Weili Zhang, I know, Sean Strickland, DDP. I want to get into it. We're gonna get there. These three fights, I literally have no idea. I have never seen any of them fight, and I'm not trying to. I think Justin Tafa, seen him a couple times, but I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trying. I'm just being honest. I'm trying to give, good, respectable, honest feedback, but I feel like I can't with the amount of information that I have on these fighters. So, Jake Matthews, there is no parlays hitting here. It's going to be all single bets. I just want to talk about the co-main and main event. Weili Zhang and Tatiana Suarez. Tatiana Suarez is undefeated so far, 11 wins. Weili 25-3, 2 of those being by Rose Namajunas. So Weili is a little older, and she's been, besides Rose, she's been destroying everyone. But Tatiana Suarez, insane wrestling, like great wrestling. But with that being said, Weili, second round, third round head kick. I don't know why I'm feeling body shot are going to be super important in this fight. I feel like Tatiana Suarez is going to try to impose a lot of clinch work. And I feel like Weili is just going to start ripping to the body. Kind of like, remember when Stipe and DC fought? And Stipe was getting slammed. First of all, Daniel Cormier was destroying him in that first round. This man slammed him. I said, there's no way that this man is losing this fight. Like, there is no way. He's going to win it again, and then he's going to get off to the sunset. That's it. DC's donezo right here. And then Stipe was like, he had some of his firefighters in the crowd, and they're like, bro, just throw a body shot. And he goes, you know what? That sounds good. So, I, for some reason, feel like kicks are going to be important in this fight. So Weili can kind of control the distance. I know like with grapplers, you're not supposed to kick a lot, but I think body kicks and body shots are her way to winning. For some reason, I feel like a head kick knockout or just like a head kick to like TKO is going to be the way that like Weili wins. For some reason, I don't know why, but it's just speaking to me. Second, I don't think this fight goes a decision. I think this might be like a second to third round stoppage. If Tatiana's able to impose her ways and she just like grapple fucks her the whole time, let's do it. But I think Weili's going to be able to get out of those like scenarios very easy. I think she's going to be able to create space. I think her kicks are going to play a factor in certain things. I just see her going to the body a lot and then switching it up later on and throwing some like head kicks. She might do like I see Tatiana with that Muay Thai clinch, And then Whaley's just like, bah, 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 to the body, you know? So, I'm going to go with Whaley Zhang. I don't think she has that much longer in her career. She is older. I think this fight or the next fight, maybe 3, 4 more. I think this fight or the next fight, she might be donezo. She might hit she might be like, hey, I did all I can. I don't see a super fight happening with Valentina Shevchenko because I think Valentina Shevchenko would destroy her. I also don't see her going up from strawweight, especially this late in her career, because I don't know how okay, I get it. She's in a better career state now than Rose is, but you saw how Rose was able, Nemanja Nunez, you know what I'm saying. You saw how she was able to basically nullify everything Weili was doing in the second fight. And you see how she's been since moving up, and especially this late in her career. But for some reason, I think she stays at strawweight. I don't think she goes up. I don't think you do the super fight with Valentina Shevchenko. I don't think it makes enough sense. I think Weili, 2 or 3 fights, I see her retiring, especially if she loses the belt. I can see her wanting to retire champion, you know? Everyone give her props. She'll go out on top, hit some Habib shit, and then she'll be like, thank you. Do a little bow, call Michael Chandler and Kobe Covington handsome one more time, and that's it. That's it for Weili. That's it. Tatiana Suarez, if it happens, I could see them doing the immediate rematch. And I just think that, I don't know, I feel like Weili has a couple more fights in her. And then that is it. After that, there's a new wave of strawweights coming in. And then we'll kind of see what happens. I just feel like we're in that thing where the older generation, like 35 and up, it's starting to get filtered out. Except for Charles Oliveira, because he could fight forever. But, dog, Charles Oliveira is a great fighter, dog. But, you know, we'll do a video on him. But I think she has a couple more fights. And then that new gen. If Tatiana Suarez just dogs her, she might. Because what is she fighting for, you know? So, we'll see. But now, the main event. Probably the only fight that my input maybe even matters. Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland 2. I'm going with Sean Strickland, guys. I'm going with Sean Strickland. And hear me out, please. Honest. Just be honest. And I know time has passed. And I know they both had a fight. Dricus du Plessis beating Adesanya is arguably better than Sean Strickland walking down Paulo Costa. That Strickland fight, yes, it was boring, but it's not Strickland's fault that it was. That's just how he fights. I get it. Everyone's like, oh, fucking, what's his face? It's who Sean Strickland thinks he fights like. Who's the guy that just lost to Pieta? Oh, I can't. Khalil Roundtree. Like Sean Strickland thinks he fights like him. Paulo Costa was on the back foot the whole time. Sean Strickland was at least looking to do something. He was at least trying to engage in that fight. That fight being boring was not his fault. Yes, it was. He has a very weird style where he's just like, rah, rah, rah. But what do you want him to do? Paulo Costa could have grappled with him. He could have threw more kicks. He could have did everything. It's not his fault that Paulo Costa has been sad since Israel Adesanya got him pregnant and just left their life. Like, yes, beating Adesanya definitely is more recognizable than Sean Strickland beating Paulo Costa in a boring split decision, which, how was that a split decision? That was definitely like a 30-27. But, I don't know, bro. If you look at their first fight, DDP versus Sean Strickland, and you take the judges out, I'm giving that fight to Strickland, bro. I genuinely thought Strickland won 1, 2, and 5 of their first fight. And I know DDP was like, oh, I took 1 and 2 off. No one told him to do that. I think maybe he thought he could get Sean Strickland out in 3 or 4 when he kind of figured out his style. And now that he's going in, they kind of both know each other's style more. I feel like Strickland's style doesn't change. You can kind of tell everything he's going to do. But the timing on it is a little bit harder. I feel like DDP's style is harder to kind of like... You could get people to train for Sean Strickland, like, to train against Sean Strickland. You need to get a fucking drunk man in the alley and just piss him off and give him some roids to imitate DDP. He is the master of shit just working out. Like, I do not know. Like, this man is good. I am not saying he's a bad fighter. He is a champion in one of the hardest divisions in the UFC right now. I'm not saying the hardest. Obviously, lightweight, bantamweight, yeah, I get it. But middleweight is probably the 4th hardest in the UFC right now. And this man is champion, throwing a punch like he's in a dream. Du Plessis fights like how people fight in their sleep, bro. Like, this man fights like a Batman Arkham villain and not like a main boss. Like one of the people you just jump in the alley and you can just see it, and it works for him for some reason. I feel like he's harder to train for than Strickland, but then that pace, that mustache, that staph infection that he has right now, Sean Strickland, bro, he won the first fight. And I feel like DDP just has like, he's a mouth breather, dog. He's a heavy mouth breather. I feel like if he exerts all his energy in round 1, we could see how the fight's going, because Sean Strickland might pull a Nate Diaz in this fight. He might get destroyed the first 2 rounds, or even a Marab. The first 2 rounds would obviously be Dricus Du Plessis 10-9 and maybe a 10-8. But I can see Sean Strickland winning 3, 4, and 5 if that does happen. I see Strickland coming out hard. He's going to pressure. They're going to be fighting for the middle. And then I can see DDP kind of imposing his ways, winning round 1, winning round 2, because he kind of knows that Strickland style. But Strickland has been training different things, so you don't know what's going to be. This card, just looking down, a banger of a card. But I don't know, man. For some reason, if it does go to decision, obviously if DDP stops him, okay. But besides Pieta, when's the last time Strickland's been stopped? Huh? When's the last time? This man loves decisions. So, I think Strickland, just like the Whaley, body shots, I feel like that's going to be a big thing. Body kicks, for some reason, I think Strickland's going to win 3, 4, and 5. Because DDP's just going to tire him out. Mouth breathe like a motherfucker. Throw like sleepy, dreamy overhands. You know? This man trains like when Goku first went to King Kai's planet. You get what I'm saying? Like, he fights like he has weights on, but it works for him, bro. It just works for him. But, yes, he had 2 rounds to figure out how Sean Strickland fights. But Sean Strickland also had 5 rounds to figure out how DDP fights. And he couldn't finish him, bro. He finished Adesanya. He finished Robert Whittaker. And I'm not saying Strickland can't beat both those people. He dogged Adesanya. And I think he could beat Whittaker. I could see him decisioning Whittaker, like a split decision against Robert Whittaker. He has that jab cross head kick from the heavens. But I'm going with Sean Strickland for this, bro. I think he's going to rub his staph infection in DDP's mouth. I think DDP is going to be very heavy on grappling, and it's not going to work against Sean Strickland because it hasn't in the first fight. And he's training for that. I think the reason they gave him the first fight is damage based because that unintentional headbutt, which I don't know if that's. I gave Strickland 1, 2, and 5. That's all I'm saying of the last fight. I could see him winning 3, 4, and 5 of this one. I could see DDP dominating round 1, dominating, doing better in round 2, but slowing down. And I can just see Strickland 3, 4, and 5 catching it. I see their fighting styles. I feel like no matter how many times these people fight, I feel like they will go to the decision every time. Because Sean Strickland's not really a finisher. We know that. DDP is. But I feel like it's nearly impossible for him to finish Strickland just because of their two styles. I think Khamzat can finish Strickland. I think Khamzat may be able to finish DDP. I arguably think that Sean Strickland is a harder fight I think that DDP would be a harder fight for Khamzat than Strickland. But I think Strickland is just a harder fight for DDP because him and Khamzat can meet in the middle. I mean, Khamzat, if he takes him down, Robert Whittaker took him down. You saw what Khamzat did to that man. But Sean Strickland is harder for DDP certain style because it's just so... It's the complete opposite of what he does. So I'm going with Strickland by decision. Maybe split, maybe unanimous. But the thing is, if they win this fight, if Strickland wins by split, do they do the third off rip? Because who really wanted to see this fight, you know? The only reason I think they gave Strickland this fight is how close it was, and Dana thought Strickland won it. And then you saw DDP, oh, man, I won that shit. No, bro. This man had a black eye for like 6 months after. So, that is my take. Let me know what you guys think. Knockout MMA, if you want me to cover anything, or if you have... This is my second video, dog. If there's things that I could do better, if there's things you want me to cover, leave it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, please, or I'm going to injure myself. But yeah, guys, you heard it first, bruh. If Strickland wins, you're welcome on that bet.